Well, hello there for the fourth time in a row now. We're on lesson number 4. We're only 2 days away, this lesson and one more, from finishing our solo. So this should be pretty exciting for you now. I've only got one question. Did you put in your time before you get to this lesson? And I hope you have, because it's going to help you. And we're going to get right into this. This lesson is going to be a little shorter because I've given you a lot of information in the last lesson. And the next two riffs, riff number 7 and riff number 8, they're going to take a little more practice, and you're probably going to need that extra time to just put it all together. So I'm giving you a little bit of wiggle room here. Okay, so if you take a look at the tab for riff number 7, we go low for this, because what happens is after I do this riff number 6, it brings us back to the E. And I kind of want to feature the E a bit here. So what I did was I slid up on the 5th string to the 14th fret from the 12th fret. And I like to let these ring out. You may not be able to do this right away, but I like to drop my pinky down underneath it, underneath the 3rd finger on the 5th string, and hit my 4th string 14th fret while the 5th string 14th fret is ringing out like this. So all 3 notes end up ringing together, right? And you might find this to be the most difficult 2 riffs out of the whole solo. So don't worry if it takes a little more work. And then we repeat that. And we do a skip, which is another thing that can be added to your soloing. Instead of going through the scale, I just cross over with my 1st finger, hit the 12th fret 5th string, slide down, and then hit the tonic on the 12th fret 6th string. That's a real smooth riff. Now, I'm going to demo that right now. So I'm going to go riff number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 all together. Here we go. That's how riff number 7 fits in to this whole situation. And now I want to talk to you about riff number 8. Riff number 8 is a series of hammer-ons using the scale ascending, and it's going to sound like this. And you notice how I went really low for riff number 7 because I end on the lowest E in the scale, right? And then I come back from there and I go a 12th fret, 5th string, and then hammer to the 14th fret. 12th fret, 4th string, and then hammer to the 14th. 12th fret, 3rd string, hammer to the 14th, and then 14th fret, 3rd string, and hammer to the 16th fret. Got to make it nice and smooth. And it builds right up to the highest point in our progression, which will be in bar number 9 for riff number 9. So we just have to keep that in mind. Now, like I said, if you have to separate these riffs, especially like riff number 7, learn to work it in to riff number 8. And then you'd be golden after that. Okay. So, just for fun, before I go to riff number 8, I just want to show you how I would work riff number 7 and number 8 together. And just over the, because these, if there's going to be a place that you get held up on, it'll be right here on 7 and 8. So I'm just going to give you a little bit of a view of that, and we'll run the track, and I'm not going to worry about where I start. I'm just going to start as soon as the jam track starts, and I'm just going to work riff number 7 and riff number 8 and keep working them with slightly different timings, but I'm going to work them together, and that's what you need to practice, okay? Let's just give that a try. So be creative and imaginative, and you'll have less problems with it. Enjoy the practice. It's supposed to be fun. Don't knock yourself out over it. If you can't play it with exactly the same feel that I've got, don't worry about it. Just get these note groupings down. And one more note before I demo all the way to riff number 8 is that to work on these hammer-ons for riff number 8, you can use the whole scale, like, you know, in the climb. You can practice it that way too. And you'll notice I was doing a little bit of that in my demonstration. Okay, we're going to go all the way from riff number 1 to riff number 8. Here we go. Look at that, eh? We are now 4 bars away, one more lesson from finishing this 12 bar. Now, like I said, I figured 7 and 8 were a little more difficult, so I'm giving you a little bit of wiggle room here. Here's my suggestion. You need to put in your 45 minutes again after this lesson. And I'd like you to just do like 10 minutes of your scales with the jam track just to get you in the mood. And then I want you to take your last bit of practice, your last 30 minutes, and I want you to work on the riffs that are the weakest. Now I'm assuming at this point that riff number 1, riff number 2, riff number 3, and riff number 4, because they're really closely interrelated, they'll be the least of your problems, so you can spend a little less time on that and just focus on, say, riff number 5, number 6, number 7, and 8, right? At the very end, though, you want to bring it all together and do your 8 bars of your solo, okay? On that note, if you put your time in, you're definitely going to finish this. We'll see you in the next lesson.